you expect from Indonesia right now? It's like more assistance from Indonesia, probably.
Indonesia is always supporting and giving their interest to follow and to give their support to the Palestinian people and their just cause.
In February 2022, the tensions between Palestine and Israel flared again and ended up in violent conflicts. At least 40 Palestinians were reported killed in the bloody hostilities that ensued since February, and about 70 Israelis were killed during March and April. Al Jazeera journalist Abu Akleh was shot dead while covering a raid by Israeli military and security forces in Jenin in the occupied West Bank. Tension often occurred and ended up in violent actions committed by both sides, especially around the time of An Nakbah or Palestinian catastrophe commemoration, the times of the destruction of Palestinian society and homeland, and the creation of Israel in 1948. Until now, millions of Palestinian refugees scattered around the world, while those who remain in the territory are imprisoned in their land that continues to shrink due to the Israeli occupation. And the conflict between the two are still very much alive today. I'm Purwani Dia Prabandari, and you are watching Temple Talks. Today, we have His Excellency Zuhair Al-Shun, the Ambassador of Palestine with us. We will talk about the current situation in the Palestine and the development and challenge, as well as the struggle of the Palestinians to get a full sovereignty for the people and the country. Bapak Zuhair, it's an honor to have you here. What is the current situation in Palestine actually right now?
First of all, thanks a lot for your attention and your interest to follow the Palestinian situation, what they are going on, especially at this time in the Holy Land of Palestine. And you know, it gives me more significant that Indonesia is always supporting and giving their interest to follow and to give their support to the Palestinian people and their just cause. And thanks for the report and briefing you just mentioned about the situation, which of course it shows that the reality is so tough. What we are suffering now, what we are facing now in Palestine, no one can be believing that. You know. If you have seen yesterday their activities, soldiers, settlers, and the extremes parties, former Prime Minister Netanyahu was in the circle of Al-Aqsa, claiming and asking that this is our united capital. So let me be open more about what we are suffering. It's not that the community, the Palestinian people are facing or feeling as everybody is feeling in this global world. Killing, arresting, and aggressions, checkpoints, wherever there is Palestinian there, this is the Israelis' activity daily. So it seems the situation, according to your question, is so tough and very, very complicated because of the occupying power of Israel.
But it's also there is violent action from the Palestinian sides, right? So how do you say about that?
From our side,
Yeah.
violence,
Yeah.
never, never. We are searching for peace, and we are the victims. And Israelis is committing crimes against Palestinians, against the trees, against the stones. What do you think? So once we are suffering and we are facing these aggressions, we are creating violence. We are demanding, even Rahimallahu Yasir Arafat, when he go for Oslo Occur, and he accepted two-state solution in 1993, and we are now in 222, and see the situation on the ground. Who's against whom? They don't want to keep us in our own territory. So whatever we are demonstrating, whatever we are shouting, just to let the international community to come and to see, to try to have any solution for this conflict since more than 74 years. And we are still suffering. So anyhow, our community, our people, they are having the right to do whatever and to defend themselves because it is an international law.
Right. Also, there is attack from sometimes Hamas in Gaza or other groups.
See, Hamas, it's a part of Palestinian community. Israelis are creating aggression and attacking and missiles and killing the honest people in Gaza. And Gaza, it is surrounded by Israel. Let them to live as everybody is living. Why you are creating these obstacles daily? So it seems that I cannot agree with anyone who's talking about Palestinians creating violence or Hamas is doing any negative activities in the ground.
Although the international community consider Hamas in the list of the terrorist organization.
Let them to decide whatever. Let them to decide whatever. You know, in some part of countries who recognize Hamas as, because they are supporting Israel. But what about Israel's activities? Just a few days before Congress in America, the Kach party, which is extremes party in Israel, who organized yesterday this flag entering Al-Aqsa and Jerusalem, they consider him that no, they are not terrorist party. But PLO, they are still considering PLO, and every 6 months, Congress, he have to take deal to make any approach with the PLO. And this is injustice.
How do you see the response of the international community, including Indonesia, of course, with the current situation in Palestine? Because you know that right now it's like the world is really focused on the crisis in Ukraine.
Make it in different way. Because
Okay.
Indonesia, we appreciate from Indonesia whatever they are trying to do. And they are doing their hard efforts through, international organization or regional or direct approach with the Palestinian leadership from your side. So Indonesia, they really, trying to do, but of course, one hand cannot be able to solve the problem. In the other side, international community, I'm sorry to say that, international community, they are absent. They are absent because what's happening on Palestine daily, it should be some activities, it should be some actions, it should be, why the international community and the UN and the UN Council, they have created rules.
The Security Council.
And they are not respecting what they have done. Israelis are neglecting all the international regulation and orders and communities.
There is no enforcement of the
100%. So things really, we feel sad.
Also, there is actually there are a lot of UN resolution on the Palestine and Israel, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And then, actually, what kind of a life in the occupied territory? Or probably that you can give the example of your life too. If
Our life,
yeah.
Our community, of course, they are doing their normal, if you want to say like that. As living, dealings, going to their job, going to the schools, going to the mosques, whatever, or church. It's things like that, normal life. But the Israelis' activity between this, creating obstacles, creating strong feelings between our community because of that. Occupation is the problem. Your country was suffering before, and it became independent. And of course, when the colonization at that time was here, everybody knows what does it mean, occupation. So Palestinian, they are living not, 100% as everybody is living all everywhere. Facing difficulties daily, facing soldiers' attacks, aggressions, crossing the streets, making checkpoints, not allowing you to move from city to other city, attacking your farms. So this is the life of Palestinians daily.
What about the economy and education?
The economy, Palestinians, most of them, they are looking for a part of farmers, and agriculture side. But Israelis are creating, heavy, nobody believe what they are, they are taking the olive trees and cutting the trees, olive trees from the land, and even attacking the farmers, settlers. They used to make farming fire in the land where the people are using their lands. So the economic side, we are depending in, of course, donations from different parts of the world, from Japan, from China, from Asia, Indonesia, and others, Europe. That's why trying to make maintenance in that, but it's not easy.
What do you think about the future of the young generation in Palestine?
The future of young generation.
Yeah.
And young generation now who are holding, I mean, strongly and defending the aggression of Israel, like what we have seen yesterday in Jerusalem. The young generation who are having the right now to follow what Chairman Arafat and our President Mahmoud Abbas is talking about that.
Okay. What do you think is needed to solve the Israeli and Palestinian conflict?
Only one thing:
What?
occupation to be over. That's all. If occupation is removed, I think there is no conflict.
Israel is always using the security of the country and the people to prolong the occupation in the occupied territory in Palestine, right?
Occupation, see, if we want to talk about Palestine, Palestine from the river till the Mediterranean Sea, it belongs to the Palestinians. But as you know, the occupying power, when they created Israel in 1948 with Balfour Declaration, and they gave Israel 56% of our own territory. And the remaining part, 44, for Arab Palestinian state. Unfortunately, the Haganah and the Israelis extremist party, they created massacres in 1948 against the villagers and many parts in Palestine, and they occupied more 22%. So it became 78 under their control, and nobody's talking. No one is coming. What you are doing to ask Israel stop, like what's happening in other parts of the world, And then in 1967, which is after 5 days, the anniversary, when they took the remaining part, Jerusalem, West Bank, and Gaza Strip, and highest Golan and Sinai from Egypt. Everybody knows about this story. So it means the whole Palestine is completely under their control. And now we are talking about 22%, and they are not accepting. So there is no justice, what I believe. International community, occupying power, America is the main player in this disaster with Britain.
Do you have a new hope for Biden and Smith?
Of course, we are Muslims. Even if we are Christians, we believe that there is hope. And one day, the hope will come. And we believe that anyone is having the right and claiming and fighting for his right, he will get it soon or later. And the Israelis occupying power, they knows that. They knows that.
There are options to solve the problem. It's like some people propose for one-state solution and then other two-state solution. It's like the Yasser Arafat said, two states, right?
Let it be one-state solution.
One-state solution.
But
so
do
you propose.
you think that Israelis will accept that? Even two-state solution, they are not accepting.
Yeah, that will be really difficult for one-state solution.
Israelis, they don't need peace. And they are against peace. And who believe in other way, he's a mistaken. I don't want to say other words. Israelis is fighting against the peace. And peace is their enemy.
Yeah. But it's when in the negotiation, the Palestinian side support for the two states options.
Two-state solution.
Yeah, two states
Yeah.
solution. Okay.
This is was from the beginning.
Yeah,
In 1993, Ishaq Rabin accepted the offer. And he was, to reach for the end of conflict with Yasser Arafat. Who killed Ishaq Rabin? They killed him. Israel's extreme parties, they killed him. And we accept the peace process. We accept to reach for, to set for our generation, for their generation. But see the situation.
There is some groups, it's also proposed for the Holy Land Confederation plan. You aware of it or not? The Holy Land Confederation plan. So it's like two states, but it's more open and more freedom for the movement of Israel and Palestinians.
No. I think our leaders, they accept about the religious part in Jerusalem to be open, but it should be under our authority. And this is very clear.
Okay. And Israel wants that too, right?
Israel is claiming that united capital. But you have seen yesterday how the Palestinians give more efforts to defend their claiming about Jerusalem.
Selamat datang di Politeknik Tempo, kampus vokasi yang siap menjadi lahan penyemayan ide dan gagasan baru untuk menjawab tantangan di era 4.0. Fasilitas belajar ditunjang sistem Smart Campus dengan pembelajaran serba digital, membuat perkuliahan lebih mudah dan menyenangkan. Kampus terintegrasi dengan industri media dan komunitas startup sehingga mahasiswa langsung berinteraksi dengan dunia kerja dan dunia usaha sejak dini. 3 program studi unggulan Politeknik Tempo: Desain Media, Produksi Media, Manajemen Pemasaran Internasional, Sistem Blended Learning dan Kampus Merdeka dengan materi belajar 60% praktik, menjadikan lulusan Politeknik Tempo sebagai sarjana terapan siap kerja. Sebagai penyelenggara pendidikan, Tempo Media Group berpengalaman selama 50 tahun di industri media dengan reputasi tinggi. Mari raih masa depan gemilang bersama Politeknik Tempo.
What do you think of the development in the Arab countries? I know it's more and more countries there that's close to Israel and start to have a relationship with it.
Arabs who already fighted Egypt before, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, all of them, they have fighted in favor of Palestine. Politically now, they are, of course, having complete support. Politically and diplomacy, let it be, But in my opinion, Israelis, they don't listen or consider any diplomacy efforts. So you have to deal with them as what they are doing on the ground.
So it'd be long conflicts in the region.
This is the only way. This is the only way.
On the short-term issue and the problem right now, especially the economy or education or social issue, what could the international community, also Indonesia, of course, can do to help the Palestinian people to have a better or more prosperous life?
International community or UN Council or General Assembly, whatever, or who are fighting for the freedom, of course they can play, and give more and more support to the Palestinian. Not only politically, of course, economically and social and health, part, whatever is kind of help, it should be applied from them to give the Palestinian more and more, to make them strong on their land. Israel is trying to kick our community from there, but they are not able. Not able. Let me say that 1948 disaster, which called Nakbah, when our people, they left some parts, but now it cannot be. No one is thinking to leave his home or his village or his farm, and he will die, but he will remain there. So we need the international community to give more and more support. And this is the only way. See how they are doing now for Ukraine crisis. All Europe. But what about Palestine? 74 years. 74 years. Anyhow.
What do you expect from Indonesia right now? It's like more assistance from Indonesia, probably.
Sorry. Indonesia.
You already mentioned that
I
Indonesia is
already
already,
have
but it's
already
probably you
mentioned- I
need
have
more.
already mentioned, or whatever in favor of Palestine. We need Indonesia to support that. And to keep always the file or the cause of Palestine on any table, wherever Indonesia is there, like G20, for example.
So you expect that Indonesia will bring the Palestine issue in G20?
You know what I come to my knowledge, and that Indonesia is not feeling happy unless Palestine is not independent. When it becomes independence, we feel that we are having full happiness. So it seems that Indonesia is fighting for our just cause, standing, and already I have heard from several officials, authority in your government, especially the diplomacy, this strong lady, Marsoudi, Bintu Marsoudi. I do respect her, this lady, really. Because whenever she talk about Palestine, she talk better than me. Yeah. And one day I told her that you are more Palestinian than me. Yeah. And this is true. This is true. It's not diplomacy way. Indonesian, of course, there is pressure in this country to follow and to go for other things, or like normalization, or to accept Israel. Yeah. But I don't think so that it's easy. I don't think so.
And the G20 summit, it's about the economy, right? So it's quite hard to bring Palestine issue on the summit. Although the Indonesia government also already brings the issue of Ukraine that probably will be discussed in the summit.
In G20.
In G20, yeah. So I mean, it's quite hard to discuss the situation of Palestine in G20.
Well, I have given one time answer for a similar question. G20 now, Indonesia is the leading of this group, of important group in the world. So once Palestine cause is on the table, it is also successful for us. Whatever outcome, whatever helps, will be decided. It's in favor. But once everybody is talking about Palestine, this will make our cause life.
How hard is the work as ambassador of Palestine?
I will not talk about me, but in general, Palestinians, they don't feel to go for rest in any time. Always active and always following the circumstances, night, day, even in the marriage party, they used to be following what's going on. In any special occasion, in the Eid, yeah, this is the Palestinian. Okay, that might be that you have to take rest for 1 hour because your body is needed, you know. But in general, we don't feel that. Rahimallahu Yasser Arafat. He never sleep before 4 in the morning. And
Right.
8, he used to be having his breakfast. And we got this message from him. So always we are following and dealing hardly, because what's happening in our country, it's not easy. If we will be going to sleep for limited time or period, our enemies, they are not easy. So we have to keep always.
What do you do to unwind during your spare time? How to relax or enjoying time, probably. Or you don't have any spare time?
Wallah, sometimes yes. We don't have, space, time to go, but because your children, your family is having the right to be with them for any period, to take them. And from time to time, we used to visit some places in Indonesia, like Bali, like others, Iceland, when we get the chance and opportunity. This is our life. Or yearly, we used to go back to our country to visit our parents, sisters, family, and to see our authority in the same time.
Is it easy for you to go back to Palestine to see your family? Or
Yeah, okay. This is easy for me because I have the nationality and I have the citizenship to enter easy. But our enemy, is controlling all the borders. Maybe they can keep you half an hour or 1 hour, just wait.
in the immigration?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, this is their behavior.
So it's really difficult still. Yeah.
That's difficult.
Okay. Pak Zuhair, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you for your time and the insightful conversation. I hope it has been an interesting and enjoyable moment for you as it has been to us. Viewers, thank you for watching us. I'm Purwani Diah Prabandari. You can watch the next Tempo Talks next month. Good day.